Pod and the City Weekly Roundup. I'm John.
And I'm Amanda. Chappell Roan did another interview that triggered a bunch of unhappy parents to double down on just how happy they are. A feminine phenomenon indeed.
Professional crybaby Morgan Wallen was forced to spend an hour and a half at SNL and was so shaken to his core that he immediately needed to find a roof to throw a chair off of.
And since her daughter has gone no contact at this point, Teen Mom's Amber Portwood decides to speak to her through us, the innocent 3 a.m. TikTok live audience.
Happy birthday, Leah? All this and so much more on this week's episode of the Pod in the City Weekly Roundup. Hi, kids.
Wow, what a last 10 minutes of our life. Will you share your life with me for the next 10 minutes?
Would you share your life with me for the next 10 minutes?
For
I will. Hi, guys.
Hello, guys. John figured out his internet. He's in Vegas. I have 5 dogs here, so I'm not making any big movements.
I am currently in Las Vegas, as you can see, possibly.
Ooh, the Hilton.
I'm not going to tell you where I'm staying, so please don't come find me and stalk me or anything, unless you're hot. And then, yeah, that's why my internet was fucked up, I guess, because you'd think at this expensive, nice-ass hotel that the internet would have its shit together, but Cox Communications, it follows me.
It haunts
your computer.
Me. Yay.
Hi, guys.
I feel like at the beginning of the week, me and John were like, are we going to do the live? And I think both of us wanted the other one to say, no, let's not do it. But we were like, I'll do it if you, and then I was like, it's an hour and it is fun. So like,
here's my thing is I did it in California. I left Disneyland to go back to my Airbnb to do it. So damn it, I can do this.
Yeah, true. Yeah, why not?
And I walked down to the lobby and got a $12 coffee and a $12 pastry. And you know what, baby? I'm set. I'm ready.
You are living it brown style. You're spending like Robin in Vegas.
Well, you're right.
His internet then wasn't working. And I'm like, well, we can just reschedule it. And then it did start working. And we're like, I guess we're doing it then. So
I was like, God damn, this effing internet better work. Okay, so I want to say hi to all of our babies here. Hi, Jay Schwa. Hi, Holly. Hi, Heather. Hi, Beakerface. Hi, Gabriel. Hi, Salawallaway. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Florida Stanley. And hi, Julie. Julie's been there since 10:40 waiting for us. We're sorry, Julie.
There, another man in the chat.
Yeah, we're sorry that you had to edge so long. Oh,
Karen Dance.
So yeah, lots, like, weirdly, I feel like I haven't seen stuff happening, but it has, I guess.
But it always does. It always comes together here. So let's get into, we also recorded all of our shows that dropped today a while ago. So it feels like forever ago. So let's get into a little bit of housekeeping. We deleted the thing for it.
Anyway, with housekeeping, guys, who's excited? Because a few different things are happening. One, you can check out our Patreon this week. It's a mailbag episode, and it was pretty fun, I thought. Check this mailbox. Patreon.com/podinthecity. Also, make sure that you sign up there, because you're going to, on our Patreon is where you're going to get to hear part 2 of my Vegas adventures.
Oh,
also,
I haven't
check
even
out our
heard it
Pod
yet.
in the City episode this week. We're really getting some viewers through our Pod in the City app, so make sure you check them out. Also, if you're watching, could you hit subscribe and could you hit like to help a bitch or two out, y'all?
Woo,
hi, Karen.
Yeah, we're getting through the LA episodes. We just finished the LA episodes of Sex and the City. And next week is Hot Child in the City, which is about weed. Yeah, I'm skipping in heels. Okay, should we just get into the hot topics, babe?
Oh, yeah, let's do it, babe.
Get it while it's hot.
Topics. All I have to say is, good luck, babe. Good luck, babe. To Chappell, because, girl, the mothers are coming for you, honey. They're coming for you.
I feel like I have never ever, there's something obviously like wrong with me, or I am just the exact same person as her, because she's never irritated me even the slight. Everything she does and says, I'm like, yeah. I wish I had the balls to do and say these things.
If you're unaware, guys, Chappell Roan did an interview with the girl from Call Her Daddy, who is, I'm going to say it now, one of the worst interviewers to ever exist. She's pretty damn bad. So anyway, and her thing was, the thing that has stuck out to everyone is she says something along the lines of, everyone I know who has kids, they're in hell. Hey, Valadia. Hey, babe. Thanks for saying hey.
I actually
She's
listened
like,
to the
all
whole
of them
interview.
are in hell.
Did you listen to the whole thing? She is,
no,
as I'm listening
like
to it, I was like, I don't listen to Call Her Daddy, but I just wanted to listen to her. And I listened to Ellen Pompeo last week because it kept getting so much like views on shit on TikTok.
Ellen Pompeo was on Watch What Happens Live with Deborah Messing.
I feel like those two are like the exact same energy to me. Little
Deborah Messing
for their talent.
What I really liked in it is, you know how rich Ellen Pompeo is. So they made a couple like being super rich jokes, like her and like Andy Cohen makes some joke about the two of them being super rich. And all I can think in my head is like, well, Ellen Pompeo is a lot richer than Deborah Messing, right? I wouldn't. Anyway.
Will and Grace had a whole reboot, and that's still only half the seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
Doesn't Ellen Pompeo make what, $10 billion per season of Grey's Anatomy?
Anyway, it was a good interview. But anyway, as I'm listening to Chappell Roan, I was very conscious of, because, and you too, both of us, for some goddamn reason, have very polarizing personalities. I don't think we do, but we do. And as I'm listening to her, I'm like, I bet people are going to find her to be such a bitch, because it's just kind of her, the way she talks and just the kind of her demeanor. And I could tell she was going to get a lot of shit, but this is the thing that everyone glommed onto. There were several things she said in this interview that made her sound bitchy. I didn't think she was, but this
Chappell
parent thing, I didn't even click into it as something to remember, because I was just like, yeah. But everyone's glomming onto this thing that she said, everyone I know who has kids are in hell. And now what I will say is that my co-host Jody on Love to Hate Everything is like, always wanted kids. She's wanted to be a mom since she was like a little girl, and she will openly be like, you shouldn't have kids unless you want them. It is difficult. Like no one should do this unless you absolutely want it.
I think that, well, the biggest reaction now is coming out of people being like, oh my God, how could you do that? Having children is like heaven on earth. It's like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, sweetheart. It's all about the projecting. It's like, of course they're over it. And they're like upset because they know that their life is hell. Like the only ones who are complaining are the ones who are miserable.
Karen Dance says, I have a child. Her comment didn't bother me at all. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's like a slight delay. But yeah, this is the thing is like now people, but the thing I love about TikTok, I saw somebody say all the people that make TikToks are extroverts and all of the comments are introverts. That's why the comments are always very funny. But all these moms now are like coming out and being like, look at this baby. Do you see? And all the comments are like, yeah, you're not helping your case.
It's like you just proved the point. You seem like you're in hell. Friends, okay, Beakerface wants to explain, someone to explain. I believe Call Her Daddy means like it's a girl trying to be like, yeah, like I'm so like different that like you don't call me mommy, you call me daddy.
It's kind of pick me-ish, if you ask.
I was gonna say that, but I don't want to be whatever. I mean, anyway.
Speaking of Ellen Pompeo on Call Her Daddy, wow, there's never been a segue good enough, is that on that Ellen Pompeo interview, she came across, she was very women empowery, which I love. But then she kept going back to like, well, I never knew what love was until I had babies. And I mean, and then the Alex, is that her name? Called the interviewer. She's like, I've been thinking about it. She's like, no, you just have no idea. It's just, you don't know love. You don't know love. And I'm like, okay, but you're kind of going, she's like, if people don't want to have kids, that's totally fine with me. But your life.
What I'll say about Ellen Pompeo is that she waited a long time, I think, before she had children. Yes.
She did. She said she didn't want it at all.
She had lots of money. She had all the resources in the world, and she probably has 50 nannies. So Ellen Pompeo takes several seats. I'm sure it's wonderful having children. Yeah, when you're a billionaire. Congrats,
probably
girl.
super easy. Yeah.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hey, girl. All right, well, let's move on to the next story. I mean, everyone's been talking about Chapel.
Oh, one little bit of that is Ellen Pompeo is in that show about what's her name?
Girl. Yeah, Natalia. Yeah, you don't think
Natalia Grace.
I'm slurping it up. I'm like, inject
you are?
this to my. Yes, I think it has like such a good energy because they're totally making fun of the situation, and everyone's definitely in on the joke. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, you know what I forgot? That's on Hulu, I think. I wanted to point out there's a new show on Hulu called Mid-Century Modern, and it has Nathan Lane, Matt Bomer, 2 other gays, and it's like it's a gay Golden Girls situation.
Oh, all right.
I want to watch it
for next week.
I want to watch it. I don't have Hulu, so I'm gonna have to track it down. But I guess Linda Lavin is in it. She plays Nathan Lane's mother.
I don't know who that is.
She's like a famous actress from like the back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still on board with Chapel, of course. And in my opinion,
she's fine to me.
From what I've seen, I'm sorry, guys, but a lot of people who are parents, their life is hell. I'm sorry.
And people really don't like women, and Chapel is a strong woman who like doesn't take shit, and people don't know what to do with that. So she's a horrible bitch.
Yeah, my suggestion is if your life appears to be hell, then maybe try and not make it look like hell.
I mean, yeah, honestly. I mean, she's talking. I mean, I've never liked her more than when she said having kids looks like the worst thing in the world. All right, let's move on to a real
strong man.
Yeah.
He's really strong, guys. He's not a baby at all. Morgan Wallen, this little bitch ass. He like walked off the end of Okay, the big story here that people have been hooking onto is he was the musical guest on SNL after the first time he was ever booked was during COVID, and he wasn't following COVID protocols, and so they canceled him because he was caught on camera making out with strangers, like making out with a bunch of girls at clubs.
I saw a picture of him in the good nights of the first show, and he was wearing a mask.
In the what?
He did end up doing the show.
I think he ended up getting there.
And he was wearing a mask.
Okay. Well, that does not fly with his audience, obviously, because he's also the one that dropped the N-word and then sold more albums after that.
Shocking.
You know what? I have an idea. If you don't want to appear to be racist, Republicans, maybe don't like when you find out someone's racist, maybe you shouldn't then support them more.
Yeah.
Or just accept that you're a racist. I mean, like, if you accept it, fine, accept it. Anyway, so at the end, typically they'd stand there and say whatever. He says to Mikey Madison, he's like, "You did great," or something. And then he walks off like down straight. Then 10 minutes later or something, he posts on his Instagram a picture of his private jet. Keep that in mind. And it's like headed back to God's country or something like that. And it's like, or get me to God's country, which is implying like, oh my God, you had to spend time around like non-white people. Oh my God, Morgan, are you okay, Morgan?
Trans people,
Morgan, are you okay, sweetie? Are you okay? I think you might have gotten AIDS because you were within 5 feet of a gay person. You probably have AIDS now, Morgan. You better go get tested. I hate this motherfucker, and I don't understand why this bitch wasn't canceled a minute ago.
I don't really know why he was on there. Do you know his music? Because I was watching it on my computer. My computer was like across the room, so I didn't want to get up to fast forward. But this one song that he sung was basically, it was like a Jax Taylor original. It was like, well, what? The song was like, "If I was so bad, then why did you stay?" Which is like, oh, so it's a song for the domestic abusers out there. But I defended him on Monday because I was like, well, I think he just wanted to get off stage. But then when I knew more about it, I'm like, well, he sucks. And the whole cast said that he was like a nightmare to work with all week.
Here's my thing. You just get off stage, sweetie. You would have had to stand there for 20 more seconds.
Yeah.
You couldn't stand there 20 seconds. My feeling 100% is that he did this on purpose so that his followers wouldn't be like, why were you a pussy and you went on SNL? And he's like, well, I did what I had to, and then I walked off and I went to God's country. I think that I have an idea, Morgan Wallen. Go to God's country and stay there. In fact, you know where God's country is? Heaven. And I have an idea for you. If all of y'all went to heaven, us on earth would be a lot happier. Anyway,
I want to go to hell with all the other gays.
I don't think we will be, because I think all those people will be in hell. So there must be like party hell or
just
something.
Stick with this group. I was talking to Rebecca from Berlin on Instagram this morning, and she's like, "Oh, like I hate Morgan Wallen," and she's like, "Why was he even on?" And I would think that Lauren Michael. Okay, I listened to Dana Carvey and David Spade's podcast. After the 50th anniversary, and Dana Carvey couldn't be there, and he said that Lauren called him and all he could talk about was, did you see the Blake Lively Ryan Reynolds bit? Did you see that? Did you see how everyone's upset? So like Lauren loves this. That's why he had Elon Musk host. That's why he's like,
no, it was done on purpose. It was I mean, people are being like, why would they even put him on there? Well, so that everyone would be talking about it on Wednesday afterwards. No one else talks about SNL for like it being good.
I do sometimes.
You're right, Heather. Thanks. I did what I had to do, and I collected my big check. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Sold out to the libs and whatever. Morgan,
and walked away.
Guess what? The libs don't want to see you on SNL either. So the next time you get invited, turn down the invite, baby, because it seems like when you're around, again, people of color or gay people or women who have power, God forbid.
Women in comedy.
Your snowflake self starts to melt, bitch. So go to the tundra of wherever you live, you nasty piece of shit.
Speaking of nasty pieces of shit, Jax Taylor. I just saw this morning, and God. Now, look, as I'm rewatching Vanderpump right now, and James Kennedy is really in his most monstrous phase. It's like he's just called Katie fat like several times. He's just the worst. And Jax is kind of now in the background because now everyone hates James in this part I'm watching. And Jax is also such a fucking monster. And this is what everyone feels bad for Brittany, but he showed her who he was when she was moving across the country. She should have left, like, to be with him. Brittany should have left 100 times. So he's already treating her like shit. So I have no
empathy for Brittany.
I mean, really, it was since the beginning.
You knew who he was the very first time you met that.
She knew who he was beforehand.
Girl, get out of my face.
She watched the show, but anyway, is he starting his own podcast now? Oh yes, it is. Okay, here it is. So it's Jax. I don't know if I respect him more a little bit for being at least in on the joke that he is. I just watched the episode where he went on Stassi's podcast and did the sociopath test, and she's like, so you are a sociopath? And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. So he at least knows. But anyway, he's starting a podcast called, I'm going to take this banner down for just a second.
I'm going to ask you though.
Man. Yeah.
Wasn't it about 1 to 2 months ago that Jax was admitting that he had a coke addiction so that he could be a better man? And now we're making Is He a Red Flag podcast? I'm not understanding.
Yeah. So I think that maybe he's going to go on and teach, and he'll talk to people and be like, this is my advice as a former red flag myself. This is what I, a man with muscles, have to say about this. So anyway, send in your red flag stories. He wants you to personally send it into him. And he'll talk about all these red flags in his podcast, In the Mind of a Man.
I wanted to say hi to Edith because I'm finally joining En Vivo. Doesn't that mean live? In live? So, yay, you're here live, Edith. Yay.
There's a lot of
Joan
newbies here today.
Is glowing. Thanks, Sarah.
I told him he doesn't like
I don't
his light
like the lighting. It's too white.
Rebecca says you have to look at a partner like how would they be as an ex and co-parent. I've heard that, but like after watching Jody go through her divorce, I think that sometimes you just literally never know until I would never have thought that Radu was going to be that much of a monster because he didn't show any like qualities like that until it ended. So but Jax was showing those qualities in the beginning though.
If you're interested in hearing about us and all of that, I would check out our Patreon because we do answer some questions about I answer a question about my reluctance to be with red flaggers. Check it out, patreon.com/podinthecity. This week on White Lotus, I haven't watched it yet because I'm in Vegas and I just
there were no incest scenes, unfortunately. Boo! What's the point of watching it? But I mean, it's setting stuff up. People don't like it, but I'm like, we all got 2 weeks of full salaciousness. Can we, now we're just gearing up for this finale, which will be an hour and a half, Joan. So it's like a full movie for the finales.
I think most people are just forgetting that they binged it before or something. Like, if you binged this season,
100%.
You'd be like, oh, okay. But watching week to week, it is kind of annoying because some episodes end up just having not really anything happen. But didn't Jason Isaacs come out and something?
Yeah, so Jason Isaacs came out and he's done a couple interviews. I heard this the first one from Ronnie and Ben from Watch What Crappens, but they were doing a White Lotus breakdown. They said that he came out because his dick is shown, his prosthetic dick is shown in one of the episodes, and he got asked about it in an interview, and he pulled well, you would never ask a woman about that. And it's like, well, actually, sir,
if a woman showed her pussy, I think they would be like,
if women don't show their pussies, they would. I remember a cycle in the news where Megan Mullally was just doing, I think she was maybe in Young Frankenstein, but she was on every talk show, and every fucking talk show, by the third question, they were talking about how fat she is, how she's heavy for Hollywood. Every single interview. So yeah, honey, they would actually. Megan Mullally. She's like, yeah, I know I'm about a size 8, but I know I'm fat for Hollywood. Every interview though. This was on The View. This was on the Tonight Show.
Wow.
On everything. Anyway, but this new one is Jason Isaacs, who is Draco Malfoy's dad from Harry Potter. Did an interview where somebody asked him, and I kind of actually love this. Somebody asked him, how did everyone get on in the set? Because they were all just hanging at a resort for 3 months. And he said too much. He this is what we would do though, I think too. If we're nervous, I'd be I'd just overshare everything. He's like, it was good. It was fun. I mean, for some people. I mean, a lot of us got along. A lot of us really didn't. There's a lot of friendships that actually are probably ruined forever. And he just kept talking about how there was drama and shit. And then somebody's like, do you want to expand? No, obviously not. And people are like, what an asshole. But I'm like, no, give it to me. Give more information.
I do. I've seen some photos that have now come out where they're showing the behind the scenes pictures of different people at dinners and stuff together, or at seeing elephants and just random shit. And it's cute, but it is interesting to see the dynamics. Who I never see in all the photos. It's they are as far apart as possible. The two brothers. I'm just saying.
So funny.
I think Patrick Schwarzenegger's I'm not going to be caught in any picture with that other one so that I don't look gay.
Maybe his acting is so good when he's looking all uncomfortable because he genuinely is this is fucked up.
I genuinely think it is. I don't think he's acting too much, and I think that's why he got the role. Well, it is alleged. Again, allegedly, people are saying that he slept with Mike White in order to get his
role. I think he's doing so good though on the show. I think I'm very impressed with him.
Great.
By the way, this is why the two of us got out of theater, because of you spend 3 months with a cast of actors. Is anyone shocked that there's drama the whole fucking time when everyone's living together in a vacuum? Yeah, there's gonna be drama, and there's gonna be people who hate each other.
Yeah, I don't even know how I would experience any of that. I would
just sit in my room alone like I did during Les Mis and 9 to 5, and everyone thought I was a huge bitch because I didn't talk to anyone.
Well, I mean, they were right about part of that. Anyway, on Drag Race this week, hey, Amanda, guess what? Last week on Drag Race, I was like, well, we're getting close to the finish, babes. We only have 5 people left. We're chugging. We're close.
They brought back everyone eliminated.
Well, they had a non-elimination week.
Oh, no.
It was makeovers, and great, they were fine. The problem was that really they had to almost have a non-elimination, because if they eliminated someone, they probably would have had to eliminate what's her name, Anya Nerve,
Oh, I like her. Oh, that must be why then. That has to be why.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they obviously wanted to keep her. So I'm ready for Drag Race to be over. There was a really nice moment, okay, that I really appreciated here, where Lexi Love, who has been dogging out Susie Toot a bunch in the season, and their mothers come, okay, and Lexi Love has this great relationship mostly with her mother, but her mother doesn't accept that she's trans. And then so with Susie's storyline is that she is like, with her mother, is that she doesn't really have like that kind of connection together. They aren't like, you know, bonded the way that the other parents are. Hey, Mary. And so there's a kind of a beautiful moment like in the show where Lexi like has this kind of like epiphany type moment where she's like, I'm treating Susie like shit, and we actually have a lot more in common than I want to believe. She's like, Susie is like, if I had never done drugs and like, you know, done crack, or she was like basically saying like, my jealousy kind of Susie is coming from like, well, she's basically like a version of me that never, you know, got fucked up from partying and fucked up down the line of that. And she just was like doing it, you know? So I was like, okay, I liked that. Right?
That's good.
But I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for All Stars 10. There's floating casts. And they're doing an interesting, well, they're doing like a thing. Oh, another show that's coming back.
Liza's gonna be on the finale, says Gabriel. Man said it, so
Gabriel.
It's gotta be true.
You're right.
Is that true? Liza Minnelli?
Liza's gonna be on the finale, and she's receiving a lifetime Rue Achievement Award, some kind of name they gave, and she's sitting in a chair, and Rue's standing there like with her like, it's Liza.
Do you think it's pre-taped?
She's on stage.
But like, do you think she'll interact with the queens, or this will be like a pre-tape that they do like to show? Doesn't matter.
It's different than when like Carol Channing was on the finale for season 8, and it was just a video.
Oh yes, yeah.
Where it actually showed her on stage on the like thing for Drag Race.
She's
so
promoting that weird. She's promoting that weird children's show with Michael Feinstein, who I saw last week.
Oh, do we think that's what it's for? Little Liza.
Maybe. Little
Liza.
One of the best moments from Drag Race that has to do with a makeover challenge is when Jinx Monsoon, they had like all these old gays in, and Jinx Monsoon was paired with this guy who at one point is like, I think I killed Judy Garland. And they're like, what? And he's like,
RuPaul is interviewing them too, and RuPaul is like, he's like, oh, hi, Dave. And Dave's like, well, I think I killed Judy Garland. And RuPaul's like, oh?
He's like, I was talking to her about Quaaludes, and she was like, what are those? And I was like,
he thinks he introduced her to drugs.
He gave her the first pill. And Rue's like, she worked pretty hard herself to lead to her own demise, honey.
My God. I think Drag Race, let's get it over with. All right. Speaking of getting it over with, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I think the finale's on this week. Nothing happened on this season. And then Garcelle left after, now I guess on the reunion, they're going to go after her. I'm sick of y'all. Get your shit together, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Get your shit together. I was going to talk about...
You don't really need Garcelle, right? That's all I've heard from podcasters for years, is that Garcelle's great, but she doesn't add anything. She's just kind of like the Greek chorus.
I don't think she necessarily adds anything, but there has been a concerted effort. Oh, you know, I forgot this. This is a comment that we got, and I said we were going to talk about.
Great.
This is from Not That Costa. It says, I'm a slutton, so I am biased anyway, but your Real Housewives of Beverly Hills takes are wild, John. Erica, Dorit, and Kyle all deserve to be kicked, and Sutton and Garcelle are the only ones willing to do it. The Fox Force 5 have driven that show into the ground with how they protect and conceal their lives while attacking the rest of the cast.
See, as you were reading that, I had to redo it in my head with a British accent because he has a British accent.
I'm a slutton, so I'm biased anyway, but your Real Housewives of Beverly Hills takes are wild, John.
By the way, Costa has a really good TikTok called Costa's Bookshelf. It's really cute. He reviews books. It's lovely.
I'm going to say about this, okay, if we're speaking specifically about Erica, Dorit, and Kyle, I'm going to have to go slightly against you, Costa, because to say that they conceal their lives, now I understand that Kyle doesn't want to talk about Morgan Wade, and like they do lie about some things, but like Erica has shown that she was a sugar baby who met her 90-year-old husband when she was a cocktail waitress at a strip club, and then she lost everything in their tumultuous bullshit. I'd say she's shown quite a bit of her life. Dorit has, put on fake accents and done her whole bullshit for years, had her robbery shown, her divorce, her everything. I'm going to say she puts quite a bit of her life. If anyone
I don't think
hides
Dorit
their...
does at all. But I don't watch the show.
Over the years of the show, I would say of the three, she's the least. And then I would say Kyle, while she has changed, they've been a lot. So I'm agreeing, but I do think Sutton has been showing her ass this season. And I do think that when there was this moment where she calls Dorit like poor eat and like says like, oh, well, I know that like our whatevers, you can't compare our whatevers, but you can't compare our wallets. Our wallets sure aren't the same. Like basically being like, well, Dorit's poor and I'm super rich. Because did you know that Sutton gets, I believe it's $300,000 a month in her settlement?
I knew it was something crazy like that. Yeah. Good for her.
I mean,
Jennifer Tilly probably made out the best out of any housewife in the whole world, right? She's
Jennifer Tilly, money. I think, has a third of The Simpsons.
That is crazy.
So, yeah.
Wait, what about this one that's like, you want the villain? Here I am. She's married to the guy from... The one who's like, you want the villain? Here I am.
She's not on it. She was only on one season.
I'm saying
Diane Jenkins.
She seemed really rich, is what I was saying.
She was really rich.
Says, I would have never watched Real Housewives. Which location?
From the beginning, baby.
If I go from the beginning, I once was tagged on IG by Kyle because I posted a clip of her as a child star in my reel and it went viral.
What?
Hey.
I start at the beginning, but me, I'm like
which place?
We need season 1, episode 1 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Is that what you were asking?
I think she's saying which location.
Oh, of Real Housewives?
Yeah.
Oh, in general. Got it. Okay,
yes.
So personally, it depends on what your interests are. I think my favorite in general is probably New York. But New York has taken the farthest fall.
Yeah.
So like New York through season about 11 is chef's kiss.
Okay.
Season like 7, 8, 9 of New York are like so good. But
which ones are
I
those?
also like Beverly Hills. I also love Atlanta. So it's hard.
Rebecca says old NYC, Old Atlantic with Nene.
Agreed. The old of all Atlanta. Of those are good. Yeah. You know what? A one season wonder that I have now watched twice. Washington D.C.
Oh.
The one season that they did too. Oh, Miami's really good. Really good. Start with season 1 of New York. Yeah, that's a great place to start.
I used to have a Real Housewives of New York podcast.
I remember.
I just couldn't get into it. And then I was moving and it just was too much. But anyway, what's next? Teen Mom? Is that what's next?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh my God, John. Did you know that I put out an episode this week, John? My own episode?
By yourself?
I did. Yeah, I was on I was having a manic episode, obviously. So I cleaned my whole house. And
then you're like, let me get in front of this microphone.
I did at 9:30 p.m. after taking a gummy and laying all the way down in bed. I'm like, nope, gonna do it. And then the episode goes all over the place. But check it out. It's on the main feed of Love to Hate Everything, actually.
Also, while you're checking that out, hit like and hit subscribe if you guys are watching. Also, let us know in the comments, do you guys watch Teen Mom?
I mean, it doesn't. Well, a few of us are still watching it, but here's what happened in a nutshell. Joan, Leah did a speech for the opioid crises, y'all, to a field of about 25 people where it just kept cutting to the girls doing this, being like, oh my God, my mom is so fucking embarrassing.
Oh, that's the mom?
What? No, they're in the audience of the field.
No, but then this Leah's is the mom.
Yeah, that's Leah. That's Leah Messers.
She looks different.
Well, she's 16 years older. Over in Chattanooga, Kaylin came over ready to fucking work. This bitch came in and she's like, I'm my time is money and we are starting, and she fucking led this shit. I was so impressed with her. It was all about podcasting because Kate and Ty are starting their own podcast. Now this right here that you're looking at is Macy reacting to Caitlin saying, yeah, Teresa wants an apology from me and like because of her trauma. What about my trauma? And Macy's like,
I've been getting a lot of TikToks this week recounting about Caitlin and Ty's
Break It Down
adoption.
That's what their podcast is called Caitlin and Tyler Break It Down, by the way.
I'm sure that'll last 6 months.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I'm definitely on the side of the adopters. Sorry, Kate and Ty.
Most sane people are. And I don't even like... I can't stand Brandon and Teresa. They creep me the fuck out. He gives me Jared from Subway vibes, and Teresa reminds me of Robin Brown. But
I just think that they went in... I just feel like their attitude is like, well, Brandon and Teresa... I mean, they're not saying this, but Brandon and Teresa are babysitting our child. Well, we can't. But anytime we want to see her, we should be able to. And we should be able to have photos. And we should be able to post online that this is our... Like, you want all the things... You want things from being a parent without being a parent.
Well, also, the one time they met up with their yearly visit and they were 2 hours late because they were making a scrapbook that they could have done for the whole year leading up to it. And then another year they brought April, who showed up... The mom, who... Brandon and Teresa said explicitly, we don't want to ever be around April or Butch, Caitlin's parents. And then they brought April. She showed up drunk. So it's like, we've given you lots of chances. And I heard that Brandon and Teresa have an adopted son, and they have great communication with the other. So it's like, this is you, Caitlin and Tyler, you specifically, that they're doing this to. But anyway, meanwhile, Amber, it's Leah's birthday. So Amber, who I've already said before, but she's working on training her bangs in a different direction, as you can tell from this picture. And this is her talking to her brother Bubby about, I don't know why, Leah. I just want her to love me. I know that it's just now, and maybe one day we'll be together again. And then Bubby's like, look, Amber, my only advice is leave her alone and just accept it. Gary's a good dad, okay? Okay, Amber? And she's like, So then the episode aired, and she sent Leah a glass rose with a letter that's like, hi, baby, even though you don't want me there, I'll always remember the best moment of my life. They say nobody knows love, like Ellen Pompeo said, until you see your firstborn or whatever, and you're mine. And baby, even though you hate me, I'll wait for you forever. So
wait, who said that?
Amber wrote this in a note, and then as Leah's reading it, they have Amber doing a voiceover of the letter. It's so funny. So then that episode
Here's my problem with Amber.
Oh, yeah?
Amber.
You have a problem with her?
I just wish that she wouldn't try and pretend that she's like, she cares about her child, except for the fact of being like, this is what I should feel or what I should think. Like, I don't think 100%. She cares about her child.
No, she doesn't. She is actually, like, she's diagnosed with, like, bipolar, but like a specific bipolar, like an extra bipolar, like a personality disorder. She has bipolar and a person. Sure, but she definitely has personality disorder. And hi, Shannon Rogers. I love this kitty in your picture. Look, Joan, the chat is blowing up during the Teen Mom section. Even
I know.
People care because it was a good episode this week. So then after the episode aired, Amber, who's been allowed back on social media for some reason, she went off for a year, which was good for her. Now she's back and she did this. She's got when she's wearing the headband, you know that it's like it's gonna be something to see. Jody.
Amber's message to Leah, part 1.
Part 1, right? It's just, and then the funny thing is the chat, because she's very much like Mary Brown, where if you fuck with her in the chat, she instantly blocks you. So everyone in the comments are like, Amber, you look stunning like just very like, but you can tell everyone's trolling her, but everyone's kind of working together as a team to just be like, keep talking. So this is her just going, no tears. Leah, I love you. Oh, I just can't. But anyway, that's her spitting out. She's like, I actually quit the show. You guys don't even know that. You guys don't even know anything. I actually quit that fucking show. Okay. So that's what happened.
I just can't even imagine. I can't even imagine like what a person like Amber Portwood's life is. Like day in and day out thinking you're the victim while personally victimizing every other human around you. Yes. Like what?
Also, honey, it's like pretty rare for a dad to get full custody and both of your baby daddies have full ass custody, including Anbu, who was allowed to move to Palm Springs. He was allowed to move across the country with the kid because you know why? Because she chased after them with a hatchet. Yeah.
So like he needed to get some distance.
Yeah, like literally, like there are pictures of the hatchet hitting the door.
Jeez.
He was like on the floor holding James and she was on the other side of the door and was like hitting it with a hatchet.
I love that.
I know, I loved it too. but then it's not as good as her fiance going missing, but really he was just trying to get away from her. That was even better. Not that I enjoy other people's pain or anything. Okay. Well,
Rebecca's asking, what cameo do you two need to get for a Pod in the City viral moment? Discuss.
Peyton.
Okay, we need someone to get on and say they're really racist. Who from the Sex and the City world is relevant? I would say we should get one from Chris Noth. Because we could easily get him to say something sexist and racist, I'm sure.
Definitely sexist.
No one cares about Chris Noth.
Who else like in our... Lena Dunham.
Yeah. You're right.
If they got an Amber one. Well, Beakerface is asking for Amber, but now 2 years in a row to the date, Jody has been fully fucked over by Amber. She wanted to get me one last year and this year. Cameo, Amber accepted it both times and then let it run out and expire while having correspondence back and forth the whole time. And then it just expired.
She was chatting.
Jody had a $50 credit from last year, which she used for probably Peyton's and Amber's this year. Peyton at least gave us the cameo. He gave us more than anyone could have asked for.
Speaking of things that no one's asking for, they're making a Beatles biopic, okay? Keep in mind, these are the original Beatles because they've introduced, I guess, at least 3 of them, it looks like.
No, all 4.
I see
like,
only
maybe one
3
didn't.
Here.
Oh, one must have not gone through, but
Harris Dickinson, who was in Baby Girl, who was I Will Be Your Father.
Oh, this is that guy? I never, ever could have.
He's playing John Lennon. He looks absolutely nothing like John Lennon, but congrats.
Yeah, but the Beatles all, like, not in that picture, but the Beatles all kind of were shaggy. Like, I feel like you throw a moppy wig and like kind of a beard on everyone, they all kind of look
sure. But I would also say if you made this 10 years ago, none of these people would play these roles. So we also have this guy who was on freaking Stranger Things. And then
Paul Mescal is Paul.
Oh, of course.
Do we like
Paul
that?
Mescal?
Who is that?
He's that guy who goes out in like little shorts all the time.
Did he recently host SNL?
I think so, because he was in Gladiator. He was in the Gladiator movie.
Okay, but I think it's so funny that Barry Keoghan is Ringo. I just find it like so funny.
I just think that personally, I think Ringo is like cuter than Barry Keoghan ever. Anyway, you guys know my feelings about Barry. Hate him.
I just can't believe that the song Please, Please, Please is about him, and then he actually like did what was in the song.
Oh yeah, then he did. Oh God, I can't with doing any of that.
She's right.
I actually think that her writing all that and stuff about him, it gives me a hint that she is a lesbian and she's just hiding it.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, I think that was totally a publicity thing, and it's like,
sure, 1,000%. You don't write a song about someone that you've been dating for 2 weeks and then have them be in the front row of Coachella while you sing it, and it's like, okay. Maybe.
Says Chris Snoth was at my local liquor store doing a tasting of his celeb tequila. I live in Nowheresville.
What's his tequila?
Oh my.
Okay, speaking of Nowheresville, just kidding. Rita Wilson, good old Rita Wilson.
This is so funny that I was looking at this shit and I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to put this picture in here because I used the exact same picture on Monday when me and Jody were trolling this bitch. Yes, I was like, that's what I thought. Oh, I accidentally clicked that. You're like, no, I put that in there.
Okay, guys, if you don't know, Rita Wilson is the wife of Tom Hanks. What I would assume is probably one of the richest actors in the world, I would assume. And she is like reigniting or continuing her music career. I know she's had music before. Well, she decided that with her new song, whatever it is, she would go down to Hollywood Boulevard to film the video. Here's her
mother of Chet. Yeah, that's perfect. People forget that, but she is the mother of Chet.
Well, the comments on this were like, "Oh, I see where Chet gets it now."
Yeah,
like,
totally.
She's wearing like this outfit, which to me is terrible to begin with, and those black wide rim flat hat thing. She's walking down Hollywood Boulevard, just like being like, "I'm wild, I'm like free, and this is who I am." And the words of this, the song she wrote, I've always felt that we're all works in progress. None of us are ever really done.
Oh, this is like Mary Brown.
The song is called Halfway to Home. And one of the lyrics is like, I've been here before, and I'm almost halfway to home. That's literally how it sounds. And she's like dancing around like, girl, it's a mess. And I like her.
AP says, love Marnie's mom. A lot of the comments in there were about Marnie's mom. I wrote Jan Levinson coded, and it's a real hot comment on there. If anyone wants to go to the video and give me some love there.
Oh, Sabrina said she's bi. Okay. That makes sense.
Great.
That makes a lot of sense.
Joan, actually. You are way better. Well, yeah, Joan is very talented.
Oh, thank you. Speaking of talented.
Oh, hell yeah.
We've been we found out that Jinx Monsoon was going to be in Pirates, the Penzance Musical, which I guess is a reworking of the Pirates of Penzance.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to probably just getting around some kind of copyright thing. But the song, I was nervous that they were going to add new songs and stuff. But did you watch this whole rehearsal footage thing?
I did, and aren't the songs the exact same? It's just everything else is kind of different.
They just made this song a little bit more jazzy. So I think they just switched up, and maybe they're just calling it that, so that you go in knowing like, this is Pirates Penzance, but it's like, a different, so people don't freak out. Pirates Penzance is probably my top 10 musicals of all time. I think it's a perfect musical. So okay. I'm so excited. And the casting of this is like perfect. Here's Jinx in costume, because I think it opens like tonight or tomorrow or something.
Oh, wow.
This is her like rehearsing some like clappy thingy that they're doing. But it's Jinx, and then there's Ramin Karalu, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's got them thick thighs. This is him like jumping on a barrel. I'd be like, I'm not doing that.
He wants that. He wants to be like the hot masculine like buff.
Yeah. The original of this though is Kevin Kline, and I will argue like that's like one of the sexiest performances.
Yeah, he is.
Ever. He's so good. And when they do the Patter song in Act 2, the speed at which he does it like is so impressive.
Though Patty's, Patty's thing makes me look at Kevin Kline differently though. So
I bet Patty cheated on him. Yeah, but again, they were like, what am I? you know what? I'm not going to make excuses for a man in theater, a hot man in theater. But when it shows Ramin hitting the high note, it's so easy and gorgeous. And I was like, oh my God, he is so fucking talented. But this, I think, might be the best casting I've ever seen, is David Hyde Pierce playing Modern Major General. And he's just so chilling when he's like, this is just him. He can just stand there and be like, yeah, this is probably exactly what I'm going to be like. If I was living in this age and I was a general, this is me. So I'm excited. I hope that they release 1 million clips of this, because I love it.
I'm really happy for Jinx. I think that's awesome, personally.
Yeah. Do you like pirates? What's your history with pirates? Jodie was the
I think it's boring.
sergeant of police in junior high. It's her biggest credit to date.
I find it boring, but
it's not though.
Okay. Well,
have you seen the movie? Linda Ronstadt is in it, and she belts everything. And I love
speaking of belting everything, they shouldn't. Okay, Bobby. Okay, not Bobby. What's his name? John. Sorry, this is a shit picture, guys. Jonathan Groff is playing Bobby Darin in some musical on Broadway, and my big pull from this is that Lawrence girl is in it, and I hate her. I've decided I hate her. She the Nepo
too. I used to love
Lawrence
her.
Nepo baby. Hate her. The one who did that song that
tell me what you
know. And I saw a clip of her she's playing someone, like an actual person.
Yeah, this clip, this is the one that I saw too, and like the top comment is like, what in the Carnival cruise ship is this?
That's what I'm wondering, is like, what is this show?
I would never see this show.
Because there is a moment he's dancing, he's like walking and around singing one of the songs.
He's doing crowd work?
He goes up to a lady, is like, dance with me, and it's a woman in the audience, and I'm like,
watching this.
Huh? Well, what's her name? Gracie Lawrence, who I'm gonna dog at her for a second, comes up. He's singing some song, and then they've somehow decided, they're like, you know what we need to have is we need Gracie Lawrence to do riffing over the top of this, I guess.
Of course.
So then she yanks a mic and she's just like, wow, 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 wow. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? She is only there because she's an Nepo baby. I'm sorry. End of story.
Well, Gabriel is asking now. I just always don't put this on our list. Yeah.
Redwood.
What's it called? Redwood?
Redwood.
Gabriel's asking, how about that Idina Menzel or Adele Dazeem tree musical? What are we? I keep seeing people are like, it was the most transcendent experience of my life.
Who?
I just keep seeing people talk about it. Like theater reviewers on TikTok being like, I just left the theater and oh my God, that was amazing. So it's like
it's
her
based on a story
on a tree.
It's like based on a story of this woman who climbed a giant redwood because she needed to, like, I think her child had died or something happened in her life.
Yeah.
And so she decides that she's going to go climb a redwood tree in California. And then she's going to like hang from the tree and be like, and she's like living for the tree and she's like hanging upside down. And it's like, if I were, yes, Gabriel, that's the clip. I saw a clip of her singing while hanging from a tree and it made me laugh. Agreed. And all I could think is,
that's pretty much the whole thing. People, I think that the visuals are really cool. But she is
there's
swinging
like
from
LEDs. There's LED screens like surrounding this giant tree trunk that they have as the set piece. And then I guess those change so you can see like the ascent up the tree, like the leaves and whatever. But looks boring to me. Gotta be honest.
It does look boring. And you know what? You know what the best musical with LEDs that I've seen is Curious Kate Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
That was like the coolest show I've ever seen. All right. Well, good. That's our Broadway.
Oh boy. All right. Wives. This actually is not Sister Wives. We're getting into a special edition of... Ooh. Technically, I did not see a movie this week. But
Isn't it just kind of your wormhole?
No, I have multiple things. First, this is my movie corner, okay? This is where I would center off my entertainment items. So, I went to Vegas. I am still here. I'm still here.
When are you back?
I'm leaving tomorrow. So, I have like the rest of today, and then I'm going to hang around tomorrow and do stuff. But... So I've done multiple things. Okay. On my way in, Amanda did post on Facebook, on their Facebook group, Joan's going to Vegas. Are there any Sister Wives things that he needs to see? And I did look at the comments. Mind you, I don't know what a lot of the things are. So the things people are posting, I text Amanda and I'm like, hey, like, what are the addresses of some of these Sister Wives things? And she texts me back and is like what? And I'm like, the Sister Wives.
Yeah, but how quickly did I get you that shit? I texted
You did.
Suleska in Florida, and I'm like, what are these addresses? And she was back to me in 30 seconds with multiple screenshots of all the different restaurants, cul-de-sacs, every address in Coyote Pass.
The first thing was that I was going to do a Barbie deal. So I was like coming into town. And so I saw one of the comments said about, I guess, a stadium that Robin could not find at this school. And someone had comments saying, well, you can basically see it from the road. Like there's no way you can miss it. So I'm driving. Don't tell anyone I took a photo while I was driving past. But I'm driving. And I'm
You're
wait.
talking about the stadium, the Thomas and Mack Stadium that Robin missed.
I'm like, wait a minute. That looks like a stadium. Like, I wonder if this is it. So I snapped this photo and I texted to Amanda and I was like, is this the state? Is this it? Like, I actually thought it was a theater. I didn't like fully. It's not like I went through those notes. So I was like, no, this is a stadium. Guys, let me know. Is this the stadium?
This is the campus. This is a
campus of some like community. Is it a community college?
Anyone in the comments who's a Sister Wives person, let us know. Is this it? Oh God. Mandesha says, oh, actually you could go to Bubblegum Shrimp Company's site of the Kaczynski family fight. Yeah, Joan, you don't even know about that, but I'll tell you about it at a different time. Our biggest family fight happened at a Bubblegum Shrimp in San Francisco. But this is where Robin was late to Logan's graduation because she couldn't find the stadium and she was driving around and asking people, where's the stadium? And no one knew. But then people found out that like earlier in the episode, she was missing an acrylic nail. But then when she showed up, she was around an acrylic nail. I love these people so much that are finding this. Okay.
Well, then I had heard there was a cul-de-sac somewhere. So I was like, what's the address of the cul-de-sac? Amanda sends me the address. And I'm like, la-di-da, la-di-dee-dee-dee-dee. I took multiple videos. I took one of me being like, well, I'm 2 minutes out from the cul-de-sac. I'll check in here with you guys. My phone was plugged into my car through AirPlay. So guess what, y'all? It doesn't record any voice.
So that's why, yeah.
It's just clips of me going like back and forth. So I took some screenshots. This is me. This is from my car. And then this is, I did get to the cul-de-sac. I was there, babes. I was there. And mind you, no one told me there was a gate. So this video that I
was like, I'm not going to tell him there's a gate because he might not go.
This video
I was like,
filmed.
yeah, I know you got to follow people in. I know. I knew that.
This video of me that I filmed, though, is like me just like going back and forth being like, no one told me there was a gate. No one even told me there was a fucking gate here. I can't even get in. I can't even get into this cul-de-sac.
Well, you can you have to wait for someone and then you follow them in.
But this was only like 5 minutes from where I was to do this Barbie deal. So I was like, okay. So
perfect.
Swung in. Big places. That area is very lovely.
Okay, great.
Should I talk about the rest of my thing? You have this.
This is just some Sister Wives news, the breaking news. I put Danielle, the SC Realtor, a friend of our show, on TikTok. She's who you should go to for Sister Wives content. But this is actually big news because, John, you know about how everyone, how they're in that huge legal dispute right now about like splitting the land. Well, they actually did, as of today, finally split the fucking land, and they split it 4 ways. So, but at least they got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. So Robin got to do her favorite thing, is spend money, but she doesn't need to spend. So they spent all that money and ended up with the exact arrangement that was supposed to happen. What do you think of this as a realtor? I think it still looks a little unfair, to be honest.
This is how it is now?
This is how it is now. It used
Why
to be
do Cody and Robin have... This is not split in 4 then. Because Cody and Robin still have a section that's all to themselves.
Yeah, I know. I think they should just say no and like fight for more.
I think they should I think they should sell the whole thing and split the whole thing, and then Cody and Robin can go figure it out and go somewhere else.
And I think Cody and Robin should be one. Like count as one share, not one each. You know? Like they should split it into 3, I think.
It's hard to say, but from what I've seen is that Janelle like paid for her own house, but then Cody wanted it.
That was Christine, but it's okay.
Anyway, okay.
So that was the Sister Wives news I threw in there. What else?
So I did have some other updates from Vegas. I have a few things. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna do a part 2 to my Vegas trip, and that is going to be on our Patreon. And I'm gonna tell little details here, and then I'm gonna give more on the Patreon. Okay, so check it out.
Any like salacious stories?
No. Oh. So the way that I'm here is I have a friend who comes out who does work out here, and so I'm just staying with her in her room. So that's how I'm here. I didn't spend a shit ton of money on the room, so don't judge me, y'all.
Okay, good, yeah. Good.
Okay, so I played a couple slot machines. Okay, first one, Whitney Houston.
You're coming off of your good luck from that lotto ticket from last week.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to play any. And then as I just saw a couple, I was like, oh, I'll put some money in. Okay, so I saw a Whitney Houston one. So I was like, I got to play this. So I put money in. I was so confused by the way that they were asking me to choose my denomination and then whatever. I put $20 in. I thought I was playing $2. I pushed spin once. It was $20 that I was playing on one spin. So I played $20 on one spin and I lost. Great.
Okay.
Then I played the Little Shop of Horrors slot machine. And this one's my number one so far. The Little Shop one, the reason I'm obsessed is when you start... It has Rick Moranis and it has Ellen Green. It has all the people. All of them. Well, actually, you know who I didn't see? Steve Martin.
Well... He's good.
Anyway, okay. On this one, when you play it, you start the thing, and it goes bum 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 bum. Like it plays the beginning of Little Shop, and it plays the whole song and everything. Oh, bitch! I was sitting there like, yeah, I was living for that.
Yeah.
Didn't win anything. Fine. Then I tried to go to the. So yesterday, what I did was I took a lift because we're staying in a hotel that's at one end of the strip. I took a lift to the other end of the strip, and then I walked like through all the hotels on both sides of the road up to ours. I walked 25,000 steps yesterday on my thing.
So skinny.
So, baby, I am skinny. I tried to go to the Lady Gaga museum because she had a residency at the Park MGM. So I went to this like thing. Guess what, y'all? It was closed.
Aww.
Multiple things I tried to do were closed. I walked to the Caesar's Palace. Like they have this fountain show thing. Closed. It's only Thursday through Sunday. Yesterday, okay, we went to this show at the Wynn Hotel called Awakening. It is something like it's like a Cirque du Soleil show, but it's not. It's actually way shittier, I would say. And I would like to do a deep dive on it in our Patreon because I don't have enough time to talk about this yet. But here is my photo. Drag Race Live. I would like to. The hard part about a lot of this is I am staying here with a friend who does work like part of the day. So like Drag Race Live, their shows are at 9:30 at night. So I was considering going to that. But then I would have to like sneak back into the room like at midnight or whenever I'm done. And she has to work in the morning. Like it's a whole thing. I don't want to be rude. So we went to this show last night, Awakening at 7:00. This is a picture. I have my program here. Now this show, I'd like anyone to do any background work about it. It has originally conceived and created for the Wynn Hotel. It's gone through iterations though, because I believe that the audience was hating it originally and was like, this doesn't make any sense, blah, blah, blah. So now they've convoluted it in such a way where it actually makes no sense. But it's quite fun and ridiculous. I'd like to show a few photos. Here's the creative team. Let this soak in. This is probably why it was partially bad. I don't see any women on this lead creative team, and I don't see any people of color. Your show's probably going to suck. All right. So one thing is they had really cool costumes. Can you see that?
Yes.
The whole idea here, there was also this really hot guy.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
He played the character of Light. So the idea here was that Light and Dark used to be lovers or something, and time pulled them apart, but they had created it was the most convoluted piece of shit
so
ever.
When you go to shows like that, you're actually paying attention to the story and trying to follow it, because my brain shuts off. Yes. I'm just there kind of looking at stuff.
Well, what happened was, I'm gonna guess that when they first did this show, there was no there wasn't a lot of dialogue, because all the dialogue that they've added is like, this Light guy comes up at the very beginning. He comes out of the stage and he's like, "Good evening, everyone." And then he talks for like 3 minutes straight of being like, back in the time of this, that, and the other. Like, he gives a whole, like, you know, what do they call that? Prologue.
Oh, yeah.
So that you have an idea of what the fuck's going on, because this character then travels these 3 realms. Now, there were really cool things. They had this like stage that would go up and down, and it was like in a round, which was really, I thought, really cool. Personally. Now, I'm going to talk more. I want to talk more about that on our other thing, because I'd like to do a deep dive.
Great.
I'm like, what happened to all the photos here? Okay, so then I wouldn't say go to it. I'd definitely go to a Cirque du Soleil show before I'd go to this thing. But, you know, they tried.
Yeah,
I love that about
Cirque du Soleil and the whole thing. I was with my boss and we were just like, what the hell are we watching? Yeah, I agree. I enjoy the visuals. I was in final callbacks to go on tour as the singer at a Cirque du Soleil show. And
that's cool.
I don't think I ever went to the last callback. I forget why. Maybe I was just like, I don't want to do this. But then I ended up seeing that show, and the person sang from start to finish, and you didn't even see her. She was like up on like almost on the roof, like not even in a light. And I'm like, that would have sucked. Or it might have been a great gig because you don't really have to do anything. I would have done that.
I would take that job in a moment.
I would have missed my pets too much. Yeah. I don't think it paid very well either.
I am committing to the heterosexual bit, except I do want to say my biggest, really big takeaway is that there have been so many hot men in Vegas. And I think it might be because there's a lot of conferences here. So you just see like big groups of just men.
A lot of them are probably looking to cheat on their wives with a
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure yourself. Most of them are cheating on their wives.
Over there.
Oh, honey. I went on our Grindr, and there's 5 people 0 feet away because we're all in the same like hotel.
Yeah, did your phone just like get instantly really hot? You had to put on a cooling station.
Like 50 dick pics being like, "Hey, do you want this? Do you want to do this?" There was an amazing act in this thing where these 2 women, the one act in this Awakening show, these 2 women were like on ropes and things, like swinging around, and then one would get on top of the other one while the other one's like has her feet in these stirrups and it's swinging around. Amazing. But I would still go see something else. After that, then we ended up going to this outdoor bar that people have probably seen on TikTok, where at the bar you are sitting on this little like patio overlooking this like little, they call it a lake, but it's like not a lake, it's like a pool. At the Wynn, where every 30 minutes, this is typically a waterfall in the back. But every 30 minutes, they do a different show. So you can see one of them, this frog comes out and sings a song. There's another one where these like visions of these people pop out of the thing. So we sat there and had drinks, $25 drinks. Yeah. My drink right here was $25.
Oh my God, what was it?
Nothing.
It was probably one exact ounce of alcohol.
It was like some kind of, it was vodkas with like rhubarb and something, and then it had glitter on top of it. It was very good. I really liked it. This was fun though. Everything here has been so far pretty fun.
Good.
I'm going to talk more about it on the other thing though, because this is our news and gossip.
So, I asked if you were having a great time in Vegas and you didn't answer, and then I sent you a picture of my hair and you read it and left me on red with the hair.
Okay, the hair thing, Amanda. We talked about this on the Patreon, I think.
Yeah, so you hated it.
Because you were like, what do I do? What should I do? And I'm like, I'm sure it'll just end up being like similar to what you already have. And guess what? It is.
You think this looks similar?
It's darker, but the cut is almost the same.
Not at all.
Oh, really?
You should have seen it when I don't usually look at myself in fluorescent light, but when you saw what it looked like, I was like, oh, that's what I've been walking around looking like. It was a fucking shit show. Anyway, what's this? Is this Jonathan Bailey you got down here?
Where? Oh,
This.
wait, geez. No, Jonathan Bailey? No. Okay, so,
that was
that's
Jonathan
my... I had a wormhole this week, guys.
Oh my
I
goodness.
went on... I've been just like, what should I watch? So I put on Ina, okay?
Ina Garten?
Yeah, count it.
Barefoot Contessa.
Barefoot Contessa, back to basics, okay? And one of the episodes, she's cooking something to go over to her friend's house to have dinner, okay? Well, this was the friend that she was going to have dinner with, and he was going to like the cheesemonger and these delis and stuff, and oh motherfucking boy, I was like, who is this man? Who is this? Like, and then I was very enthralled in the episode. Then they go back to like his house in the Hamptons for her to make dinner. They're cooking and stuff in the kitchen. Then they do the sneak attack. They walk out to present the food to another really hot man who then the three of them sit down for dinner.
Are you not like in on the Ina? I guess I know this because I used to live with Nick and he was obsessed with Ina, and he has a podcast called The Good Vanilla, but I'm sure that he talks about this guy a lot. What's this guy's name?
This specific one?
Maybe, I don't know. Like, she has a lot of hot friends that Nick always talks
about. No, I knew
that.
I know that. I've watched Ina over the years, but this one just stuck out particularly to me because she has a lot of older gay dudes, but this one was just, I just thought he was very handsome.
Oh my. Yeah, no, he was very, I thought this was Jonathan Bailey, honestly. You don't see that?
No. Maybe in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
Just got a quick look at it. All right, well, great.
Just got a quick look at it.
All right, are we ready to close this shit out with TikTok?
Yeah, hi guys. Anyone in the comments?
TikTok, you don't stop.
Sorry, anyone in the comments?
Put an X in the comment if you thought that guy was hot.
Put a Y in the comment if you thought that he looked like Jonathan Bailey.
Put a D in the comment if you want that D. All right, TikTok
I'm
time.
Like D.
No idea what this is.
This is so fun. This is this girl. I think it's just, I didn't realize till like the third video that I think it's the exact same girl. But okay, people put next.
Good.
And it's called The Group Chat. It's like a series, and in this, it's just a bunch of girls in a group chat, and they're all like responding, so it goes back and forth between the girls. And the drama in like the first episode that I saw was like a girl is like, hey, is it okay if my boyfriend just got home and he had a really bad day at work? Is it cool if he comes to girls' night? And then it just shows each girl being like, no, the fuck he can't come. And like, oh, sorry, I just called the restaurant. There's actually no room. And she's like, well, actually, that's funny because when he said he wanted to come, I actually called the restaurant. So now we do. And it was just, so it's a whole series and people are so in. Some person on there is like, I'm a 55-year-old mechanic from like, you know, Iowa, and I've never been more invested in this shit. And it is just, so it's just a series.
These are fake, right?
They're fake, but I mean, I'm sure they're based on, I mean, these are all, that is the most like girl group thing ever. And no, for the record, no, leave your man at home. You cannot bring your man. So follow her. Her name is Sydney. Do I have her name on here? No, but just type in the group chat. She'll come out. And I'm like really following this series. So anyway, you got some thirst traps?
Well, this is a bad cropping, but this is just a thirst trap of this man like loading up the balls on a pool table, and just like his arms being big while he's like loading up the balls. I also did realize that while I was here that I have like discovered a new thing that like I think like you don't call it a fetish, but more like you think it's hot. I'm walking, right? And there's this man coming down this like wide staircase, like on the strip. And he is wearing a skin tight, like t-shirt and pants. And he was like, he had a really nice body and he had a very large chest. Okay. And so as he's like walking, like coming down the stairs, he's like, his boobs are basically like bouncing up and down as he's like coming down the stairs. And I was like, you know what? I think I like that.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, this guy, I was like, okay. And he posted it himself. So then also, this is some bartender that just had a lot of what I was looking for. I like the
that
back,
set a drink on that ass.
the butt, everything going on here. I'm living, loving, and that. And then last, sometimes these things pop up and you're just like, wait, how is this even out on here? Take a look at what I'm seeing. This man starts in the jacuzzi, stands up, and then you need to like zoom in, guys, or something.
You don't need to zoom in at all. That is long and very thick. I don't even know if you can get your whole hand around that one. That's a two-hander.
Looks about to be Amanda's size, is all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but I'm entering my non-horny phase. It's been about a year of like sex, and now I'm like, yeah, this is about the time where I start becoming boring in a relationship. So. Well,
I'm just always surprised that this shit gets passed, like that this is allowed to be on TikTok. Right? I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, sorry, Edith. It's not safe for work, I guess.
By the way, everyone in the comments, I'm enjoying that everyone about the group chat. It's like, yeah, it's never good when somebody brings. Oh, nothing will ruin plans worse than somebody bringing somebody who wasn't invited. Just stay home with him. And then Mandisha said, I'll allow anyone's boyfriend before their baby. Because all parents hate their children, just like Chappell Roan said.
What a beautifully full circle moment, guys. You know what? We love you. We're so happy to see you. Yeah, and here's the thing. If you guys are interested, you can hit subscribe. You can hit like. You can do all that shit. You can check out our other episodes. Leave a comment on the rewatch.
Share that link.
Share, copy link.
Yeah, you don't even need to share it, or do share it. Whatever. I think that's it.
You could leave us a sticker. We love you.
And then, by the way, John or Jay Bennett 87 just became a YouTube member. So yes, you can also join us here on YouTube. You don't even need to fuck with Patreon. You can join us for $1 blind support, or you can join for the same prices on Patreon and just watch all our videos here. They're all there. And we're looking stunning. I think that's it. But thanks so much. What a fun group today. So chill. I love all you guys so much. So thanks for, being you. Is that everything, Joan?
Bring up the podcast during sex. Guys, please, while you're fucking someone, please say, hey, check out the weekly roundup. We love ya!
Bye!
Bye! Wow, AP! Yeah, baby!